We're preparing to stream. And we are live on Facebook.
Well, welcome to a historic occasion, not equation. Yeah, you're going to have a lot of those mistakes from me today. My name is Dr. Mark Clark. I'm professor of history here at Oregon Tech. I've been at this institution for these 25 years. And as a historian, it's kind of cool to be part of something that's historic. There have been digital picket lines before, but as far as we're aware of, this is the first one for a higher education institution here in the US. So I am not a presenter, right? I'm a college professor. I don't have any practice at being someone who comes to you on the television. And it's interesting now that I'm here, I realize, God, that really is a hard job. No wonder those folks make so much money. So why are we here? Well, we're here on a digital picket line because the Oregon Tech AAUP was unable to reach agreement with our administration. We have been bargaining for quite a long time now, a year and a half. Our bargaining team spent all day yesterday. Started at 9 a.m. and they were continuing, and I was with them for part of that. And I was there at 6 o'clock this morning when the administration rejected our final offer. So that's why we're on strike. It's because we haven't been able to reach an agreement with our administration, our senior administration. So what can you expect from this digital picket today? Well, really what it is it's a combination of information and chatting. We're going to be talking to you a little bit here at first, and then we're going to be showing some videos, and we're also going to do some live interviews. And what we really want to do in this is to give you a sense of what Oregon Tech is like as an institution. We're going to be talking to students, we're going to be talking to alumni, we're going to be talking to faculty, and we want to explain what makes Oregon Tech special, and in particular, what is it that we want to do in order to preserve Oregon Tech and make sure that it continues to be the quality institution that it is. So, how to start? Well, I guess we can start by talking about a little bit about what Oregon Tech is, for those of you who may not be familiar with it. We are a small public institution. We have several campuses. Our main campus is here in Klamath Falls, Oregon. We also have a large campus in the Wilsonville area, which we call our Portland Metro campus. And then we have other remote campuses as well. And of course, we have a significant online presence. What is it that we do? What we do is, I think the best description that I heard from one of my fellow faculty members years ago is that we are a machine for making members of the middle class. What we do is we take students, many of whom, in fact, the vast majority of whom are first generation college students, people who come from economically challenged backgrounds. And what we do is we give them the skills so that they can succeed in life. And those skills include not just the technical skills, but we also teach them the other kinds of skills that they need, the broad education that the classical university offers. So when we talk to our industry advisors, they tell us that one of the things they like about Oregon Tech students is, one, that technically they can hit the ground running, they know what to do, but also that they have skills in communication. They can write, they can speak in public, they can work in teams. And so I guess what I would say is that we're an institution that really changes lives. And as you'll hear from students, we have some unique qualities because of the fact we're a small institution. We have very few graduate students. So if you're a student here, you get to work directly with a faculty member. You are, because classes are small and intimate. It's not a sage on a stage. It's not somebody standing up talking to hundreds of students. I remember my first job right out of graduate school. I taught for a year at Iowa State University, and I was literally a sage on the stage. I was in what was a former theater on the Iowa State campus, and that theater held 300 students, and I came in 3 times a week, and I just stood on the stage and talked to them. And did the students have any personal interaction with me? Not really, because all their exams were multiple choice tests that were graded electronically. So it was a very impersonal experience. And so that's the thing I really like about being here at Oregon Tech. Not just me, but also my fellow faculty members. Our classes are small and intimate enough that we really get to know our students because we have small departments. We often have the same student over and over again, and particularly in courses that is a major. You're one of the professors who teaches in a department with a major, you really get to know those students over the time that they're at Oregon Tech. And so it's a really intimate experience, and it's a growing experience for our students. We also, I think one of the other aspects of Oregon Tech is that we're not, many of our students are not your traditional kind of student. It's a large number. I think on the order of a third of our students are over the age of 25, many of them coming back to retrain. We offer programs that allow them to study in the evenings and on weekends, particularly at our Wilsonville campus. And so what we do is we serve a lot of folks who the big universities don't serve. We're a personal, hands-on, high-touch institution. We also have a tradition of really being hands-on in the sense that we have our students practice a lot of their skills in the classroom and in laboratories, right? We don't just tell you how to do something, we show you how to do something, and then we let you do it yourself. And many of our majors have a component where students spend an entire year on internship or externship, where they're out practicing those skills under the supervision of working professionals. So that's the thing about OIT, is that we do things differently than other institutions. So one of the things I'd like you to do as part of this, and I'm talking now about these kinds of things, but I invite you to ask us questions. We're streaming live on Facebook, and so please, say hi, let us know where you're from and how you're tuning in. And if you have some questions, just let us know, and those will be passed on to me. Oh, and I should introduce the fact that I'm not here by myself. My colleague Chelsea is here, and she is, I think they wave, there's Chelsea. She's doing all the electronic magic behind the scenes. And so, any, you get any technical mistakes, you can blame them on me, because I'm a baby boomer. And this is what happens when you let baby boomers play with technology. My students are well aware of this. So what's the source of the difficulty that we're having with our administration? Why haven't we been able to reach agreement? Well, let's talk a little bit about sort of what Oregon Tech has been in the past. Oh, and I see that Jamie in Chicago is joining us. We've got civil engineering grad and Deanna from Eastern Oregon University. Welcome to you. So let's talk a bit about where Oregon Tech comes from. We were founded back in 1947 as a school that was really intended for returning veterans from World War II. And we were a school that from the beginning focused on those kind of job-oriented skills. We started with certificate programs. We then later in the 50s went on to associate's degrees. We started offering bachelor's degrees in the 70s and master's degrees in the 90s, and we're on track for our first doctoral degree in physical therapy in the near future. So we're a institution that always evolves and is close to the marketplace. We have very strongly connected to employers, and the structure of our classes, the structure of what we do, is really designed to make sure that students are successful out in the workplace. So a source of conflict? Well, so I can speak to this a little bit because I've been here for 25 years and I've been involved uh, in first in faculty governance. I've been a longtime member of our faculty senate. I served as our faculty senate president some years ago, and then been on the faculty senate executive committee. And more recently, I helped to organize our union and was on the organizing committee, and I was our first president. And when we organized back in 2018, it was really in a response to some significant changes that are going on here at Oregon Tech. Oh, I see Mary from Kent State University in Ohio is joining us. Welcome. Great to have you with us. So what is it that's changed? Well, at Oregon Tech, we've had a long history of shared governance. Our presidents, our provosts have worked closely together with the faculty. And in effect, and I can say this from experience, in the 20 years before our current administration came in, our faculty senate acted very much like a bargaining unit, unlike a lot of faculty senates that concern themselves with only academic matters. We have subcommittees that deal with compensation, with workload, with promotion and tenure, and so we have a very, I think, sort of a long experience of shared governance, and we've had presidents and provosts who've really respected that. And what has happened since our current president, Dr. Naginathan, was hired some 4 years ago, is that relationship has really changed. The respect for faculty governments and interaction, the following of policies that were mutually agreed on, simply hasn't been working. And so what was our reaction to that? Well, I can say that I had discussed the idea of unionization in the past. There's in the 20 odd years before we unionized, there were at least 3 serious proposals, but they went nowhere. Most faculty thought, oh, we have a perfectly good relationship with our administration. We have great shared governance. Why in the world would we want to unionize? But within a year of our new president arriving, people's opinions changed. They saw how the administration was treating faculty, no longer as so to say, in a collaborative way, but more in a more dictatorial way. And so we unionized, and the reason we unionized was really to protect what makes Oregon Tech great, and that is the faculty who interact with their students. We need to be able to attract and keep talented people who can give our students the education and that will maintain this reputation. Oregon Tech has spent 75 years building a reputation, and you'll hear about this from people in industry, from students, from faculty members, that how well respected we are. And so this is, I think, the thing that motivated many of us. And so the proposals that came out of the administration in terms of workload, in terms of compensation, in terms of promotion policies, all of these things struck us as being a real step backward from what we already had. Right? We would have been perfectly happy as a union to simply accept the status quo. And what we see from what the administration has offered is that it's really a step backward. And that's what frustrates us, I think. And so I guess what I want to say is that my own experience in this has been enormously positive as a union leader. Faculty have come together. We've really talked about what's important to us. And the fact that faculty have not only come together initially, we had about 2/3 of faculty members being willing to join our bargaining unit. And now in preparation for this strike, we had a strike authorization vote, and more than 90% of our faculty said that they would authorize the strike. And unfortunately, we've had to do that. We tried very, very hard. We've negotiated for quite a long time. And so it's very, very frustrating that it's come to this. But why are we striking? We're striking fundamentally because we want to protect what makes Oregon Tech great, and that's the faculty. So what I want to do now is I want to start into some of the program that we have. And again, I encourage you, for those who've just joined us, please if you have questions, if you have comments, please share those with us via Facebook, and those will be passed on to me in chat, and I'll be happy to address those. But what I'd like to do first is I'd like you to get a sense, not just from me, but from another faculty member, of what exactly this what makes, what it is that really motivates us about being involved with our students. And so you're going to hear from Tanya McVeigh. Chelsea, you said that you would like to help introduce this video.
Absolutely. Let's see. Thank you so much, Mark, for hosting. And I spent a little bit of time this weekend talking with faculty, students, alumni, and other allies. And I was able to record a few videos with their permission from these conversations. And I'd just like to share with you some short clips that I felt were really representative of Oregon Tech. So this first video that we're going to show you is from Tanya McVeigh. She has been a professor at Oregon Tech for 21 years in the Natural Sciences Department. She's a fantastic colleague. I really enjoy working with her, and I'm gonna let her explain to you what she really likes about teaching at Oregon Tech.
Fun to be a part of their journey. They are so excited and they are so hopeful, and they have the energy and the beliefs that they can change the world. Through them, you kind of feel like you can change the world with them. And I think it's an amazing thing to be in the classroom. I feel it keeps us young, because we are always with this young, full of plans and full of ideas, young people, and it's contagious. You can't be this old grumpy person around them. It's impossible, because they are so motivational to us. I come to classroom every day because I want to see their faces. This online teaching is very tough because you don't see the people, you don't connect with people the way you do in the classroom. And oh my gosh, do I miss it. Favorite is just before they go on the extern, because our programs in medical imaging, they're 3 years on campus, and then the third year they go to a hospital. And so just before that, we usually have a banquet with them. And it is just such an overwhelming, proud feeling when they are young men and women. They're no longer scared kids, and this is a lot of the time, this is my first and only opportunity to actually meet their parents. And I feel grateful to mom and dads who trusted their kiddos to us. And now they're so confident and ready to go and make a difference there in the industry with real patients. It's just awesome. Kind of an artist. Every slide is a creation, but it's a creation not just of a beauty. It's not a pretty thing. It is what is the best way to demonstrate or to so that people connect with the material. The group of faculty that I work with immediately in my department, and I actually belong to 2 departments. I am a split appointee between medical imaging and natural sciences. And I am so blessed because we have this really, truly team approach to teaching. We step in and help each other whenever needed. We support each other. We constantly bounce ideas off each other. And we always give each other opportunities to try something else. For example, anatomy and physiology is taught by 3, 4, 5 faculty, and we work very hard so that it is the same course, doesn't matter who is teaching that. We have the same course expectations and that kind of stuff. But if somebody on the team says, hey guys, next year, let's try this and this, we are like, absolutely, let's give it a try. And then we would improve on that tool or that technique. And so I think this is an amazing thing. And also just being supportive, just being there for each other. It is a blessing that really makes a huge difference.
Well, I think you got a sense of just how excited Tanya is to teach here. And the way you saw her is exactly the way she is in the classroom. She's just an amazing presenter. Her students love her. She does a wonderful job here. And it's these are the kind of people that we want to have here. Oregon Tech, I want to stress, is a teaching institution. That's what we're dedicated to working with our students. That's our primary mission. We do have faculty that do research and service, but that's really what we do. And to give you some insight into that, and to give you sort of that link between what we do here in the classroom and then how students succeed out in industry, I have someone we're going to be interviewing live. So if you could welcome Leif Eccles. Chelsea, did you want to say a few words of introduction?
Sure, I would love to. Leif, you can go ahead. Oh, great, perfect. We've got you there. I'm going to spotlight you here in just a minute. It was a pleasure working with Leif. Leif was faculty. Their office was right next to mine for many years, right when I started. And Leif really helped me get introduced to Oregon Tech. And we just really had a great time working together and collaborating. And now Leif is working in industry. I'll let them talk about what their role is as an engineer. Yeah, I really feel lucky to have continued a friendship with Leif and get to hear all of the amazing things that they're now doing in industry. I'll let Mark and Leif take it away.
Okay, so are you going? I think you said you're going to spotlight Leif, so folks can more easily see them. All right, excellent. Oh, so welcome. You really have a unique background in the fact that you've both taught at Oregon Tech and that you're now out in industry and you're encountering Oregon Tech graduates. So I just want to start out by asking what was the motivation to teach at Oregon Tech, and what was your experience like with the students here?
I didn't set out to teach physics, actually. I went to get my master's at Oregon State in semiconductor physics, and I went to industry right away. And I was young and not really expecting sort of the cutthroat nature that industry can sometimes feel like. And so I went back to academia, first working at OHSU in research. And then I got a night position teaching as an adjunct at Oregon Tech as well. And that sort of, roped me in to become full faculty after my daughter was born. That was the right fit for me because it really provided flexibility. So that's how I ended up teaching. And then I loved it, right? So I ended up teaching at Oregon Tech for 10 years.
So what was it that you liked so much about Oregon Tech? What was what is it was it the students? Was it the atmosphere of the place? What was it that you really liked about being here?
Well, I can speak to the Wilsonville campus. I should say that, which we actually started in Beaverton and then we moved to Wilsonville, but it was all those things. I mean, really, we were a family. Like everybody that worked at Oregon Tech, we weren't that many people. We basically felt like everybody there had 3 jobs and everybody was bending over backwards to make things work. And it felt very collaborative. We wanted to help everybody succeed. And what I really love about the students that particularly are directed to come to Oregon Tech Wilsonville is a lot of them already have been working in industry. They know exactly what they need in order to go to that next level. And so they're so motivated and they have great innovative ideas. They've got great work ethic. It's a non-traditional student body for the most part. Well, I think it's actually transitioning. So it's about 50-50, right? And so it was really great to hear students' ideas and then say, oh, well, you want to, do this senior project, and it's related to this like NASA challenge. So we basically started a whole new club just to host all these space related challenges that students wanted to rope into their junior and senior projects.
Well, and I want to say that your background is very similar to many of the folks who teach at Oregon Tech, is that you bring practical experience from industry. And, many of the folks that I work with are, they're people who have, spent decades of their lives learning about their jobs, and then they're now in sharing that with their students. And it's one of the things that really makes us special. And I think, like I said, you're just so typical in the fact that you did that, but then now, then you just fell in love with the students and the kind of the atmosphere of Oregon Tech. So I know you're working out in industry now. Would you like to talk a little bit about what that's like, and sort of encountering Oregon Tech graduates as part of that work?
Yeah, absolutely. So now I work at Tokyo Electron, which is part of the semiconductor industry, and we make many of the tools that are used for making microchips, basically. And so our tools end up in the facilities of big chip manufacturers in this area. And I'm a tech support engineer, and so we troubleshoot hardware issues, we upgrade the tools, we swap out parts, we help modify recipes to keep this business churning forward and have that cutting edge technology continue, racing forward. And I encounter Oregon Tech grads a lot. I've stayed in contact with a lot of my former students, and they'll reach out to me for letters of recommendation, which I have no problem giving, because I feel, I've worked at other institutions. I'm actually heavily involved in the Oregon chapter of the American Association of Physics Teachers. And so I work with teachers all over the state who teach physics. And I can say Oregon Tech really, really knows how to prepare grads for industry. These students get exactly the hands-on skills that we want people to have on day one. It's remarkable, actually. It's really not seen at other schools that students get practical hands-on skills throughout their 4 years. It's not just like rush in that last 6 months their senior year to give them something that they'll be able to use and put on their resume. I know Oregon Tech grads are going to be able to succeed right away, and they're ready to kind of jump in and be personally driven to succeed. And so I've written many letters of recommendations for former students, not just to my company, but to wherever they decide they want to go. And many of them have landed really excellent positions. So it's so fun to follow former students and see where they've succeeded.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Oregon Tech really is a game changer. We make a real difference in the students' lives. I just want to finish up with one last question for you. Why were you left Oregon Tech? You're not teaching for us anymore. Why were you willing to come here today and help to support this strike effort?
Like I said, we're a family. I really miss that kind of atmosphere that you have among faculty, and it's something that's not necessarily replicated in industry. Of course, we're in a pandemic, so I moved into my current group during a pandemic, and so half of them I've actually never worked with face to face. But I can say it's really not the same in industry, the way that people are willing to collaborate and innovate together and come up with new projects that have never existed before. And I still feel that collegial support. I support what Oregon Tech does, the vision that the faculty have for their students. And I definitely support what faculty are asking for. I know that they deserve a fair contract. They deserve a whole lot more than what they're asking for. And I think everything that they're asking for is reasonable. So of course I'd want to come on here and support faculty, because it's really important that we continue providing quality education to students that are going to end up in industry. And it's really sad when you lose quality faculty because they're not feeling like they're being supported by their administration.
Well, thank you so much for coming today. We actually are being joined now by folks who are actually on the picket line. So I'm going to go and talk to them, but I appreciate this so much. And I am, like I said, I'm so grateful for the work that you've done for our students in the past and what you're doing for them now. So, and thanks again for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Mark.
All right, Chelsea, back to me. Well, just very briefly, I think, our schedule says that sort of a bargaining issues recap, but I think that Leaf did that for us really well. They said, all the things that, that we're trying to work on, that is to, have a fair contract that compensates faculty in a way that allows us to keep and, to attract and retain those kind of instructors. And that's really what we want. We're not asking for the moon. We want we just want something that will allow us to continue to be the great institution that we are and that we've talked about. So we're now joined by CJ Riley, a good friend of mine from the civil engineering program. I know CJ would be much rather be out looking at a bridge or inside teaching students about bridges and other civil engineering things. So I'm sorry we're meeting under these circumstances, but you look like you're having fun. I like that face mask you got. Oh, and a bullhorn too. All right, you're ready for all this. So CJ, you want to tell us a little bit about what's going on the picket line there?
Sure. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, I can hear you great.
Awesome. Yeah, we've got, I don't know, what's the count up to here? 40, maybe 30, 40. Anyway, we've got a lot of faculty. We've got students that have joined us as well. Let me flip my camera around here. Everybody's out here. We are welcoming folks to campus.
All right.
We have report cards for our senior administration.
It's all asynchronous. They're not posting any lectures. They're not doing any labs. Like, it's just, all they have to do is log in 3 times a week and answer emails within 24 hours.
We've got students who are unhappy with what's going on. They're here supporting us. They don't like what they're being offered right now from the administration. They're telling us about what they've seen. A lot of us got locked out of our email this morning, including folks who were planning on working, including clinical faculty who should be working, and there are a lot of problems. So,
well, I think that shows the level of competence of our administration, don't you think? I think they do you think they underestimated us and didn't think that we would actually strike?
I think with every nuanced approach we've taken to the contract thus far, they've come back with an approach that has zero nuance, and that's reflective in their response to this as well.
My way or the highway, I think it's not shared governance. Well, I've heard it described as it is shared governance, and that is we're going to share with you what we think you should do. Right? That's our administration's attitude.
I think that's pretty accurate.
So what's the best sign that you've seen so far out among your?
Let's see. I think we got a good one here. Sean, show us the other side of your sign.
That's a good sign.
Sean is a teaching award winner, 2019.
Let's see. So I'm having a little trouble reading it because it's kind of small. Can you?
So
let me bring it down. Teacher of the Year, 2019. Yeah, that doesn't. Well, and I think that's the thing, right? Is we,
Really shows
many of
me
our,
the confidence we have in merit pay, right?
absolutely.
Merit pay didn't matter before. What makes us think that it's going to matter again in the
I
future?
might go over there and talk to him and ask him how he feels about
That's
it.
right. We haven't seen effective use of merit pay so far. If that's their only offer, it's not likely to work now, and it's utterly reliant on trust.
I think they got that $20 bonus for merit pay.
Did you get that one?
Yeah, something around
I
that.
think I got that one too. I think everybody got that one. So it turned out it wasn't really merit pay, was it? That's right.
Well, great,
Uh,
CJ. We've got you. We'll check in later if you want to. Oh, I really like. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Now that is an excellent sign. I can tell the students grade the administration the same way we grade the students. We have high expectations. If they're not met, they fail.
That's
I
it.
have,
Nice.
before we let you go, CJ, I just wanted to let you know I'm monitoring comments on the Facebook feed. We have a lot of people tuning in right now, and there was just a comment from a 2019 civil engineering graduate, London, who says OIT is so lucky. Amazing professors like Dr. Riley still exist there.
Thank you for that. Thanks, London.
Thanks so much. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right. We'll sign off with a little chant. What do we want?
Fair contract!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Fair contract!
When do we want it?
Now!
I'd rather be.
Teaching!
I'd rather be.
Teaching!
I'd rather be.
Teaching!
I'd rather be teaching too, but that's not up to me. That's up to our administration. So CJ, thank you so much. I know you really well. I know you would much rather be in the classroom right now.
Yep, I've got one of my favorite lessons planned for this afternoon. I'm not going to be able to deliver that. Makes me sad.
All
Thanks,
right.
Mark.
Thank you, CJ. Appreciate everything you're doing.
You as well.
All right. So we had a video scheduled, but I see that our next interview is here. And so, Chelsea, would you be kind enough to introduce Billy to us?
Absolutely. So Billy is a student at the Portland Metro campus. I had the honor of having him in my general chemistry class the last 2 quarters. And he also is a student employee, and often his smiling masked face is sitting behind the front desk when I walk into work in the morning. And he's just a really wonderful student, and I believe kind of shows a general view of what our Oregon Tech students are like: responsible, committed, bright, and just so wonderful to work with. So I'll let Billy and Mark take it away.
Great. Well, Billy, welcome. I really appreciate you coming here today. I guess my first question for you, I just want a little background. So what are you studying here at Oregon Tech, and what motivated you to pick? There's a lot of different universities out there. What motivated you to pick us?
So I'm studying the renewable energy engineering, and I was making a shift from a career in math education over to renewable energy. And the Pacific Northwest was somewhere I looked because they're doing a whole bunch of cool things with solar and renewable energy. And then I found this program at this school when I knew I needed some more education to really dive into that. So that kind of drew me here to this specific program.
Yeah, and this is a really great example of the kind of thing that Oregon Tech does in listening to industry. We had the very first bachelor's degree in renewable energy engineering. So we're really pioneers in this area, and we've really built strong industry connections. So so you're a good example of the kind of student that we get. So what's your experience been like in the classroom? What is it? So obviously you came here. So what's kept you here? What's kept you motivated?
Well, I mean, pretty much all the professors I've had have been fantastic, and that works out way better for me. Like the first bachelor's I got was at a small liberal arts college, and being able to work closely with faculty just provides a much better learning experience for me. I mean, it's way easier to like get my questions answered, figure out like how to hmm, yeah, figure out how to ask questions too, because sometimes, we don't really know what we're trying to ask. And so if you can get that direct communication with the faculty, then, sometimes they can help figure out how to kind of extract it out of you.
Oh, and so that and so it sounds like, the professors that you have, they sound like they really care about their students and they really want you guys to succeed. Is that a fair characterization?
Yeah, yeah. The faculty I've had have totally been willing to readjust their course for their students' needs. And that's not really something you get in a whole lot of places. Because, it's kind of just you teach the curriculum and that's sometimes just how it is. But here it's like if we're struggling with something, or maybe we have a class later down the road that uh, we need we need different requirements for, then some of the professors I've seen have been willing to restructure the course to kind of meet those needs.
So the fact that you're wearing a mask brings up another thing, that this this past year has been a difficult one because of COVID. Uh, so what's that experience been like? How have your professors dealt with, this difficult issue of social distancing and trying to teach?
Um, I mean, for the most part, I've seen the faculty been like working with us to help kind of get used to doing things remote and adjust to all the troubles that puts on students, like figuring out how to reorganize our time to work around online schedules. And so far, when I've talked to professors, they've been totally willing to make adjustments to meet, like to help us with the increased struggle from dealing with remote learning. And I mean, so it's been pretty good so far, I'd say. I mean, it's definitely rough to do class online, but I've had plenty of support from professors to try to work with that and not just totally fall behind.
Yeah, and I would say, I've taught both in the classroom and online for more than a decade now. And what I know from that experience is that there are some students that, like taking online courses, like being instructed that way. But we had a lot of students who, don't like, there are courses that I teach both online and in the classroom. It's because students like a different delivery method. So the fact that we've been forced into having to deliver all of our instruction online, I know has been very stressful for students. I'm really glad to hear that that we've been flexible on helping you folks out. So what is it that it's like? I mean, this is this is an issue between your professors and our senior administration. So why as a student are you interested in this? Why were you willing to come here today as part of this digital picket?
Well, I mean, from the student perspective, we we have a lot more or a much stronger ability to kind of gauge the effectiveness of teachers than we do of like administration or big decisions with where the money goes, right? I mean, we're not like financial advisors, but we have spent our whole life up to this point having teachers and figuring out how to learn from them and adjust to different teaching styles. So I'd say at this point we've had a pretty good like experience in gaining critical thinking skills for what am I trying to say? We've gained pretty good critical thinking skills in determining the effectiveness of a teacher. And so yeah, that kind of puts us in a position where it's a lot easier for students to work with a professor and get that or get a lot out of the class by talking to them than from talking to anyone else who's not directly in the classroom, right? So I'm here because that's the biggest, having good professors is the biggest investment I can make in my future, I think, by coming here.
And so it sounds like you really value the instruction, and that you compare Oregon Tech professors with others that you had, and that we come out looking good in that comparison, it sounds like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Well, great. Any last words that you have for our audience? Anything that you want to add that I haven't asked you about?
Not really, just that hopefully we can come to a resolution soon and get our actual professors back, and not, someone who's figuring stuff out on the spot.
I know. Well, that's one thing I haven't mentioned is our administration has gone out and hired SCAB instructors. We have no idea what their qualifications are. We have no background. They haven't been screened at all for their industry experience or their ability to teach. And so I have to say I want to apologize that this has happened, but we want like I said, we want to look out for you students in the long term, right? And so this is a short-term sacrifice that we hope will be worth it for you in the long term. So Billy, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on. It's students like you that get me up in the morning and get me to work and make me happy and instructing. So thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Chelsea. So let's see. I think we are scheduled now to go to check in with our pickets at the our Wilsonville campus or Portland Metro. Right. This is so I see Ellen, one of our AAUP helpers, is there, and so very stylish face mask there that you have, Ellen.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you. How's it going? Good morning, good afternoon to where you are. We got a.
Well, that's what Ellen's referring to. I haven't revealed this yet, but I am actually on the East Coast. I'm one of the folks that's at Oregon Tech who teaches remotely. So it's great to see you. So it looks like you have pretty decent weather out there this morning, at least by Portland standards.
Yes, by Portland standards, it's not raining, so it's pretty decent weather for sure. We've got a lot of guests on our picket. We've got a couple of our guests, a couple of our faculty over here. Our picket captains are ready to give instructions to any picketers who want to join us in Wilsonville. We're small but mighty.
So have the folks there, since you're leading the picnic, have they talked a little bit about what motivates them to be out there, why they're supporting this picket line?
Yeah, we can ask our friend Ryan.
We're all on strike. That's right. Perfectly strike. No way. No way.
Can you tell everybody on Facebook why you're picketing?
Hey, Ryan.
Okay, we don't need this.
Yeah.
We just have to. There's no other choice at this point. You got to represent, right? Or you're gonna get exploited essentially. So here we are.
Do you like his excellent Christmas sweater? He's feeling very jealous this morning.
Yeah, I
can't hear you. Hold on 1 second. I'm having a sound issue. All right. Did you say something, Mark?
No, I was just appreciative. That's exactly right. If you don't stand up and speak truth to power, then you're going to be exploited, right? And so I think one of our issues has been that our senior administration has been willing to spend money on vast increases for the salaries of administrators. They've hired a whole bunch of lawyers, and they're spending the money, I think, on the wrong thing, not on the faculty who deliver the teaching that our students deserve.
So we got plenty of our guests and friends with us on the picket from SEIU, from AFT Oregon, from all sorts of different unions who are here to support us.
Well, that's great. Well, and that's solid. That's the kind of solidarity that I'm really
Yeah.
pleased at seeing. We got a close-up look of some of the signs that folks were carrying down in Klamath Falls. So do you have any interesting signs, or is everybody
We're just-
carrying?
We're
Well, give
just
us a
holding on to the classic faculty on strike signs, our good
Well,
picket
give us
signs.
a close up so people can
I think it's backwards. I don't know how to make the camera right, but here we
Oh
are.
no, you look that looks perfectly fine. Yes, we can read that. All right.
Excellent.
Great. Thank you all so much.
Yeah, thanks.
Oregon Tech is on strike. That's right.
Great. All right, Chelsea. I think that's a good update there. I think we're going to move on. So if you want to move the we'll check in later. Thank you so much, Ellen. So, and Ellen, you might want to mute yourself. You're still back. There we go. Excellent. All right, Chelsea. So so we now have a video that we'd like you to watch. And so this is a video from Val. Chelsea, do you want to say a few words about this video?
Absolutely. Val recorded this video. Oh, Mark, I think that's the wrong video that you have up.
I know.
Okay. The next one. Great. Perfect. So this video, oh, that's a great face that I get to see. Usually I get to see Val on Mondays because she is a student in my biochemistry class, and I'm really going to miss seeing her face today at 4 o'clock. I wish that instead of being here that I was there teaching biochemistry. She is a model student. She's in the pre-admit, pre-MLS program. So when she was in high school, she applied to the MLS program and was admitted. So she's doing her prerequisites here at Oregon Tech with me. So I had her last year for general chemistry and now this year for organic and biochemistry. She's super engaged, and she's one of those rare students in the times of COVID that turns her camera on during class time. So I get to see.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she's wonderful. And she asked if she could support us in any way. And I said, yes, please send us a video. And this is what she recorded this weekend.
Great. All right, I'll go ahead and play this.
Hi everyone, my name is Valentina Single and I'm a student at the Portland Metro campus. I'm currently a pre-MLS major and will be entering the professional program in the fall. I was drawn to Oregon Tech mainly because of the MLS program, but also because of great things I had heard about the faculty and professors at the school. Every interaction I've had with each of my professors has been thoroughly enjoyable and meaningful. One of my favorite parts about OIT is the small class sizes and how you really get to form a close connection with your professors. When COVID hit last year, everybody's life was turned upside down, and a huge question on a lot of students' minds were, how are we going to continue classes? Each and every one of my professors went above and beyond to ensure that we were still receiving a high quality of education while also keeping everyone engaged and excited about learning as if we were still in the classroom. They have all been extremely creative in their lectures, labs, even if it meant having a virtual lab, and even our day-to-day assignments and exams. Pre-COVID, I always looked forward to coming to campus each day and interacting with all the various faculty. From walking in the front door to going to the library and even saying a simple hi in the halls to various staff I would see is what makes Oregon Tech feel so welcoming and makes each student feel like they really matter and have a place at the school. The encouragement and support I've received from my professors has been nothing short of remarkable. They have even been able to turn a subject I once disliked into something I love now. In high school, I really didn't like chemistry, and I was dreading having to take it in college. But Dr. Chelsea Gustafson completely changed that around for me, and now chemistry is a subject I am so passionate and excited about. Public speaking was something very nerve-wracking for me, as I'm sure it is for a lot of people, but after taking Speech 111 and Speech 321 with Andy Foltz, it's made a huge difference for me and has helped me to not be so anxious when I have to speak in front of a lot of people. Taking various biology courses with Dr. Hugh Gerard, Dr. Greg Pack, and Mary Hogan have helped to further my love for medicine and have immensely helped me to feel prepared for entering the MLS program. I have very much enjoyed my time at Oregon Tech so far, and a lot of it is because of our incredible professors who allow us and help us to pursue our passions and dreams. Oregon Tech would not be the same without the faculty who make it such an incredible institution, and that is something I wholeheartedly believe, as I'm sure you all do as well. Thank you for allowing me to share my story and what I love about Oregon Tech. I'm very grateful to have the privilege of attending OIT and to be alongside all of the incredible professors, staff, and faculty who make it a wonderful place to be. Thank you.
All right. Well, I can see why you snuck that video in, Chelsea. Anyone who can make students love chemistry, that's that's definitely a feather in your cap, right? I'm sure, how much how much extra credit did you give her on her exam to say that? What do you think?
They earned all their extra credit through extra presentations.
Well, I've been following on my phone some updates, and I have just heard, Oregon Tech is constructing a new engineering building, and I have just gotten an update that the construction trades folks are they're walking off the job, one local at the time building. So solidarity is wonderful. This is one of those things that we just can't get enough of. And so I see that we're joined by a person that I consider to be a great colleague and a good friend. Michael Dreiling is the president of AAUP Oregon, and so I've known him both professionally. I serve as the secretary of that organization, so I've worked with him the last couple of years. And how nice a guy is he? He actually let me stay at his house. I mean, anybody who lets me stay at their house, that they must be extra hospitable. Like they'll take me and let me sleep there, given how loud I snore. So, Chelsea, do you want to bring and spotlight Michael, and we can chat a little bit with him? Michael, welcome. And that is the absolutely appropriate shirt to be wearing. And I have to say, we would not be where we are without the support of AAUP, and particularly AAUP Oregon. You guys have been the rock that we've depended on, and we would not have been able to do any of this. And the reason our faculty are willing to fight for what they deserve is because of the leadership of people like you. So thank you so much for being here today. I guess, so I know you want to talk a little bit about the sort of the significance of this for, not just the faculty at Oregon Tech, but for folks here in Oregon in general.
Sure, be happy to do that, Mark. It's great to see you engaged like this and leading the virtual Picket campaign like this from back east. It's be wonderful to see you. I actually drove down from Eugene last night. It ended up taking a bit longer because it was snowing over the pass in late April. It was amazing. It took forever though. So I'm down now in Klamath Falls, ready to get out on a picket line and support faculty at Oregon Tech who are standing up for what everybody in higher education needs now to stand up for, right? Which is to set up guardrails and hold those who administer our universities, especially our public universities, hold those guardrails in place so that they do not deviate from the academic missions that serve our students and our communities and our public good. We know as faculty that the foundation to an education takes discipline, it takes study, it takes communication, and building relationships in an educational setting where people have the support, the respect, the dignity of those who employ them, so that that is respected, so that they are at the forefront, bringing their best to students to uplift and support the next generation in doing their best and carrying our society forward, our civilization forward. At the foundation of that is faculty voice, right? The modern university did not develop without those checks. It developed with the forms of faculty governance that you all are fighting for. the voice that you all have stood up to assure will not be eroded by an unsympathetic administration. And so this is vital what you're doing. You've crossed a threshold that nobody else in the state of Oregon at a public university has had to cross. You've had to defend these fundamental features of a modern university, that of having faculty voice, right, against the intransigent administration that has been empowered by a board that has got their head in the sand, their ears closed, their eyes closed, and they're just hearing, seeing, and here, of course, denying all evil that's happening in their midst. So for faculty to be engaged, like you're all engaged, first in trying to correct abuse that was happening on your campus as far as 5-6 years back, when you first started engaging these questions in AAUP Oregon, we've seen what a series of consecutive poor administrative decisions and empowered by and backed by a board of trustees that is not holding that administration in check. We see that they can start to do damage to the faculty morale, faculty security, and the professional environment that students need to thrive in. And so when you all decided to say we need to secure those faculty rights, those standards, those professional standards, the administration has put their heels in. And now you have, of course, valiantly stood up for those practices that make universities excellent. And so that's why it's important what you're doing here. It's important for the rest of the state. It's important for the rest of the country. I think this is probably one of the most important labor struggles happening here in this country. Our education on our state shirt, right? Academic, American Association of University Professors, of course, standing for academic freedom for a free society. What does that mean? Academic freedom is that foundation that we're talking about here that professors bring through their professional training, their expertise, their well-designed curriculum to the critical thinking, the learning needs of students so they can develop across a wide spectrum of possibilities their own abilities to be their best, to accomplish their own ambitions. And so academic freedom is the foundation for those classrooms. And so securing the kind of contract you all want and need, that is about a free society. It is about a good society. It is about a society for the future generations to accomplish their best. So I hope that speaks a little bit to the question, and I'm certainly happy to hang on for as long as you want. I do plan to head over to the picket lines in a little bit. So go ahead, Mark, if you've got something.
Well, I just wanted to, again, I just wanted to thank you. I think, one of the things, we have, your reference to talking about the need for a faculty voice and that academic mission. We had a long tradition of shared governance here, and it was the elimination of that shared governance that got faculty to agree to unionize and now to strike. I tell people, more than 90% of our faculty said, authorize the strike. And I would be hard pressed to find anything else that 90% of our faculty would agree on. I think, if we said the sky was blue, I think we would probably get, some disagreement with that. Anyway, so again, it's I think the thing, it's really, I think this is a great reminder that what we're doing is not just about us and not just about what's happening here locally, but what's happening in academia throughout the United States. And we so much appreciate your support and AAUP's support for what we're doing.
You got it, Mark, and I'll be heading back to the University of Oregon, and we're sending messages out. We've got people planning to sign up for pickets from U of O, from Portland State, from Oregon State, all across the state. So we're standing with you in this struggle because we know it's about our students, it's about their future, it's about the future of a good society and the kind of foundations that faculty bring to building that better society. And so these are not small potatoes. So thank you for all you're doing. We're standing with you here on this one, Mark, and everybody at Oregon Tech.
Well, great. Well, have a fun time. I checked the weather. It's a little chillier than it usually is over in the Willamette Valley, but since you've been snowed on already, I guess you're seasoned and ready to go. So hope you have fun out there today.
Thank you very much. I plan to, and yeah, I'll probably stretch my voice a bit and learn and meet a lot of new folks. So thank you for inviting me on. Be happy to kind of engage in other ways as well. We're well, just honored to see where you've taken the struggle, and we're sorry it's had to come to this point, but now we're here and we're going to stand with you through it.
Great. All right.
Hey,
Well, I'm hearing
Mike.
from Chelsea that we need to. I think she wants to do some shout outs, or what was?
I do, but I want before Michael goes, I just want to send a quick, or I want to communicate a quick message. Irene, the president of AAUP, just made a comment directly to you that says, "Thank you for your leadership of the Oregon Conference of the AAUP, Michael. Wish I could join you on the non-virtual picket line."
Oh, thanks, Irene. Yes, excellent.
Well, like I said, we're pioneering. We're the first Oregon Public University to actually go out on strike. We're, as far as I know, there have been other digital picketing activities as a result of COVID, but as far as I know, we're the first university in the United States to do that. So it's, as a historian, I always appreciate these historic facts. So again, Michael, thank you, sir. We're going to move over to check in with our picket. So go over there and have fun with CJ. So
I will. Take care, my friend. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. All right, so Chelsea, is there any, was there any other shout outs that I need to, I just want to do a quick, Chelsea asked me in chat to give a quick shout out to those who are watching us on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining us and supporting the strike. We really appreciate it. And, we just, without solidarity, union activity does not work. So we're now with CJ Riley, professor of civil engineering at Oregon Tech and a damn good teacher. He's got the awards to show it. So, actually not just to show it, but to prove it. So again, my compliments on your stylish face mask. And how are things going out there on the streets?
Thanks. They're growing. They're getting, we've got lots of people here now. We've got students have brought food for us. We're camped out here at the entrance median on the way into campus.
Good thing you're not trying to vote in Georgia. The students couldn't have brought you food. So So CJ, I don't know. I had an update for you. I don't know if you heard that the trades folks at the seat building are walking off the job.
Say that again, Mark. Sorry, it's pretty loud out here.
Oh, sorry. So we've had a report that the laborers at the trades workers at the seat building are walking off the job.
We've seen a number of them driving by and honking in solidarity. I know we talked to at least one on his way out. They are.
Great. That is so nice to see folks respecting that picket line in solidarity.
It is. It's awesome. The support has been fantastic. I would say practically every student who drives by gives us a wave. One got their horn stuck. They were honking so hard.
Well, that's probably why they're at Oregon Tech, so they can get a better job, so they can afford a car with a horn.
They absolutely are ready for a new car.
So I'm just glad, and I just like the way that you're turning. We can just see all of the folks out there, the spirit. This is so great. I really wish I could be there. Unfortunately, being 3,000 miles away, hosting this digital picket line is the only thing that I can contribute. But I'm sure everyone and all the folks who are watching on Facebook, I'm sure they're, rooting for you and rooting for us. And and thank you so much for being willing to be out there. I know it's a little chilly this morning, isn't it?
It was a cold day to start this.
Well, it's like they say, it's a cold day in the other place, right? So it's I'm just so glad that you're out there supporting what we're trying to do. Any new signs that you can show off?
New signs?
Hello.
Hal, thank you so much. That makes me feel really, really good.
Great.
Anything you want to share with the world?
I'm just happy to be here for my faculty.
Oh,
Love our
Oh.
students.
no, I just got chills. Oh.
Stop, collaborate, and listen.
Oh my
You gotta
God,
understand.
I'm old enough to remember that. Oh. All right. See, that's the thing. We teach our students not just technical skills, but we also teach them cultural skills as well. So,
So there you go. There's a lot of good energy out here. Thanks for keeping everybody alive online and connected to what we're doing.
oh, this is, it's an honor to be able to serve in the faculty with people like you, CJ. So thank you so much for what you're doing, and please convey our thanks to all the people there. This is really inspirational.
Thanks, Mark. You too. Much appreciated. Bye now.
Bye-bye. All right. So Chelsea, since you're spotlighting yourself, it sounds like you have something you wanted to say.
Oh, I didn't know I was spotlighting myself.
Yeah.
Fantastic. This is what happens when a chemistry professor tries to become a producer.
Well, this is what happens when a history professor tries to be a media star, right? This is like the low budget version of the Daily Show.
I think we're doing pretty well. Well, apparently I knew that I wanted to say a few things because I do. There are so many people listening in live right now on Facebook. It's really fun to see the numbers kind of go up and down, but we're hovering in the 60s, sometimes in the 70s of people watching. So thank you so much for being with us. And I just want to do a few shout outs to some people who made some comments. Maria Lynn, an MLS student, thank you so much, made a comment about Ryan and how Ryan is a fantastic professor, and I agree. Audrey Wilcox is with us. Anita Beth is. We have a few people from OSU who just recently finished bargaining their contract. Victor is one of them. We have Tom from Wright State University joining us, and we even have support from people at Boeing. Liam sent a message saying that Boeing is standing with us. And most recently, I see a comment from Christina Crespo from the UK. So we've got people all over that are tuning in, that are allies here with us. And I just want to say thank you. The more people we have, the bigger the message we get to send to the administrators. And hopefully that means the shorter the strike will be. We're committed to being on strike, to ask for a fair contract, to demand a fair contract. And what we really want to be doing is teaching. And so let's go big and go back to the classroom as soon as possible.
You're
All right,
here.
I'll stop spotlighting myself now.
Oh yeah, this is one of the wonderful things about about this whole effort, is that we actually get to learn things about Zoom we didn't know before. This whole spotlighting. There's like, ooh. So and it's interesting, Chelsea. One of the things that you mentioned was Boeing, and I think this is an example of the kind of reputation that Oregon Tech has. Some years ago, Boeing was looking for a university to actually offer engineering courses, mechanical engineering, manufacturing engineering on the Boeing campus. And who did they pick? They didn't go with and it's up in Seattle, and they didn't go with a Washington State university to do this. Rather, they picked Oregon Tech. And so we actually have faculty who work full-time up in the Seattle area, coordinating and teaching classes. And and I think it just shows you just how much Boeing values our mechanical and manufacturing engineering program in particular. It's like world, I mean, that's world class, right? If you have a company like Boeing that thinks so much of us, is that they want to use our skills to teach their employees. So I'm just one of those wonderful things about Oregon Tech is that we can brag on ourselves a lot. And the reason we can brag is because of our faculty and the quality and the value that they bring for our students. So looking at my schedule now, I see we have a series of videos. So I just want to check in with Chelsea. Is that where we want to go next, do you think?
Yeah, I believe so. That's what we've got on our docket right now, our videos. I will continue checking in on the back end with the picket line. So if anything comes up while we're going through these videos, we can pause our normal programming and go into the picket lines. But I think next up is a video from an alumni, a former student, class of 2020 in the MLS program. Is that what we've got slated, Mark?
Yeah, that's correct. And
Great.
so we'll obviously I need to move to the next one here.
Well,
here we go.
Great moments with every teacher I've had where they really positively influenced me. I started out school originally, like straight out of high school, into Oregon State University. And I loved the education I was getting, but not the method in which I was getting it. I kind of wanted a smaller school with like a lower professor to student ratio, where the labs that I needed for the science heavy courses I was in weren't being taught by TAs, but by the actual instructor who was teaching me the content. So then all the instruction flowed really nicely together. I was seeking that out. But at Oregon Tech, it was so accessible for me. My professors were accessible. I could go say, hey, I did not understand that test question. Can you explain it to me? And actually get more information and more one-on-one. And all of my professors always seemed really willing to give that too. It wasn't, they really cared. The thing that stands out the most, or like the interaction that stands out the most, is that for the first time ever, when I expressed to my instructors that I wanted to go to medical school, they believed in me. It was the first time I could actually see that being my future, because the people who are teaching me, so they must kind of know how I am as a student, are saying, yeah, that's totally possible for you. Let's see how we can make that happen. In my time as a student at Oregon Tech, I got married, I bought a house, and I had a baby, which are no small feat, to also be trying to go to school full time. And I was working part-time. So there was a lot happening in my life. And my instructors made it possible for me to succeed with all of these things happening. So specifically when my daughter was born, she was born during finals week. All of my teachers worked with me to make sure I could take my tests, to make sure I wasn't coming in the day after my daughter was born to have to finish a final. Some things I got to take ahead of time, and everyone was so great about helping me through that. My instructors came in during winter break, like which should be their break, to administer some of my practicals and some of my written tests, even that, you know, I couldn't take at home alone unmonitored, and made sure that I could still succeed. They worked around my schedule, around what time I could even come in. Everyone was incredibly helpful about making sure I could still keep going in the program without really having to take any break at all. I took a speech class at Oregon Tech, which is terrifying. I had avoided speech. I went to Oregon State and PCC, and it's a requirement at every school. You have to take speech. And I had avoided it until this point where I absolutely had to take it. And it was amazing. Like it taught me to not be afraid of giving a speech, to just stand up and talk, because everyone else in the room is a person just like me. I overcame a barrier that I didn't think I could ever overcome.
Well, Chelsea, there are, hundreds, thousands of stories like that here at Oregon Tech. It makes me think, that notion of someone, a student who's not that confident. Remember, we have most of our students come to us, they have parents, they're who never attended college, don't really know much about college. The students don't know about what university life is like. They don't know what to expect, and they're often sort of very, not very confident. I remember one student that I had who was just wanted to come to Oregon Tech and get an associate's degree and go off and, sort of get a basic job. And that student went off to graduate school and to work on a doctorate, right? And so, and the reason they did, this is exactly as Stephanie was just saying, it's because folks like me and my fellow faculty members told them, hey, you're smarter than you think, you're better than you think, you can succeed.
Absolutely. It's really wonderful to interact with students that come in and they're excited about learning, but maybe don't have that confidence about their abilities. And it's really enjoyable. Maybe one of my favorite things as a professor to watch those students grow and gain the confidence, kind of like what Tanya said in her first video, that these students come in and they're energetic and excited, and that energy is infectious and wonderful, but they're not confident often. And it's really, really fun to see their confidence increase. And by the time they graduate, to see them working as professionals. And Stephanie's a great example. She got her dream job at OHSU and is now on track for her long-term plan. She's working as a medical laboratory scientist for a few years to get the experience and planning on applying to medical school afterwards. And it's just so neat to see that happening. Mark, it looks like you're it looks like you're all ready to go for the next video. Perfect.
Sure, but I just, I wanted to just echo what you said. And this is why the faculty that we have here at Oregon Tech are so important. They're folks that are dedicated to teaching. They're dedicated to students. You heard what Stephanie said, right? Is that, they came in, they didn't have to come in on their break, right? They came in to accommodate her. And I hear this all the time, and I've done it myself. I've met with students in the evening, I've met with them on the weekend. I've accommodated those difficult life issues, and particularly in this last year with COVID, it's been, this has been many students are struggling, and it's the reason, that they're able to succeed is because they've got faculty who, really love and appreciate them and want what's best for them.
Absolutely. Yeah, I share that. Mark, can we change the schedule a little bit here?
Of course.
If you don't mind, we can come back to Paul's statement, which is going to be great. But if we stop sharing your screen, I would like to just do a quick shout out to a few more comments on Facebook. And then Ellen is ready to give us an update here in a minute or two from the Portland Metro campus.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
But before we hear from Ellen, I just wanted to note here, and this is a question maybe for you or for somebody else. LJ made a comment saying, who can alumni reach out to let them know that as donors to the university, we will not stand for poor faculty treatment and the continued ignoring of faculty needs, and how that will affect their willingness to donate? Do you have any answer for LJ? I really would like to get back to them. And if you don't, let's get them that answer.
Yeah. Sure. Well, it's very simple. You need to communicate with Oregon Tech's president. You need to communicate with the board, both of the foundation and board of trustees for Oregon Tech. And that contact information can be found on our union's website. And so that would be. And so Chelsea, I don't know if you have access to that, if you can put that link up. And so so I think that's the thing, right? Is this the only reason that this is going to be resolved is if folks like you who are, who are willing to let the university know that they're, that they value us as faculty members, and they will not engage or contribute to Oregon Tech as long as this strike goes on and as long as faculty are treated poorly.
Fantastic.
I really appreciate that. That is, that is, thank you so much for that statement of solidarity. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, great. Thank you for that clarification, and I'll get that information in to reply to LJ's comment. A few other people that are tuning in, we just heard from Tracy, who's tuning in from Kuwait. So thanks for being here, Tracy. This is amazing. Linda says stay strong. Gretchen says stay strong. Cindy talks about raising tuition for the past 2 years, and that those dollars should be going towards promoting faculty, taking care of faculty, and promoting a better education. And then let's see, the last comment that I'd like to bring up, Kathy Rogers says, Dr. Franny's mom and dad send support from Detroit.
All right.
Dr. Franny is on the picket line in Klamath Falls. So with that, I think we want to go to Ellen on the Portland Metro campus.
That's right. Let's see what's happening there.
That's right. First faculty strike in the history of the state. No way. No way. First faculty strike.
Hello, hi. This is Ellen from the Wilsonville campus. I have my camera turned around. We got a little wandering line going. We've got supporters from Oregon State University, from Portland State University, supporters from SEIU, from Oregon Education Association. Let's see who else. AFT Oregon showed up, and we actually have some students on the line as well who are here to support their faculty, which is really exciting. And so we're going on a little wander. We'll have a giant banner over I-5 shortly here in Wilsonville. Hopefully they'll come back. I gotta follow the line here.
Well, I like the one person at the back who was running to catch up. So, by the way, Ellen, I don't know if you've heard that the trades folks.
Wave to Facebook.
That's right. That's right.
Yay! Excellent. Now I'm gonna follow the picket line. Sorry, what were you saying, Mark?
So I don't know if you had heard that the trades folks who are working on the new engineering building at Oregon Tech have walked off the job, and in solidarity with our picket line. So, so if you let folks there know that solidarity is important, and then it really works. So I'm as happy as I could be.
That's great. I'll pass on the great news. We'll just follow y'all until you want to switch out to the next thing on our picket. Digital picket.
All right. Well, it's great to see everybody out, and I hope we can keep up with the weather.
That's right. That's right.
We've made our own chant. It's the only chant we have so far.
Well, I'll have to get you in touch with CJ. He's got a number. He said he was working on a number of chants down in Klamath Falls, so we'll get you some additional chants soon.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Ellen. And great job you guys are doing. And just please let everybody know how much we appreciate them.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, that was a great check-in. Thanks, Mark.
All right, so I see. So shall we move on to some of the other videos? We have a couple of videos from the AAUP National. These are folks that would have been physically here if it wasn't for COVID. And so I just want to play these two videos for you, just to give you a sense of what the national issues are here in this this whole endeavor, this strike that we're trying to forward. As you can see, this first one is from the National Vice President of AAUP.
My name is Paul Davis, and I'm Vice President of the AAUP. And until last year, I was Chairperson of the Collective Bargaining Congress. In December of 2019, I actually made a personal visit to your campus. I have to tell you, I was very impressed with your leadership. I have every confidence that you are in good hands. I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I've been involved with the AAUP for over 30 years, and I've had many roles, and I am not going to go through my resume. But one of the roles I had was I was president of the chapter at Cincinnati State Technical Community College, a campus roughly the size of yours, and we went on strike in 2011. I am not going to lie to you and tell you this is going to be easy. It's not. But sometimes you just have to fight the fight. You earned the right to bargain under the laws of the state of Oregon. The administration needs to bargain with you. They cannot change what your vote did under the laws of that state. You have to fight the fight. You have the right for fair wages. You have the right for a fair workload. You have the right for academic freedom. You have the right for shared governance. And if they're not going to bargain with you, then you have the right to go on strike. I'm not going to tell you we got everything we wanted when we went on strike at the beginning. But over time, we did. They realized that we were willing to fight for what we believed in. And one thing we earned very quickly was their respect. The whole world is watching this. You have become important. You are not a membership that stands by itself. You have a national membership that is standing with you. The leadership is watching you. The leadership is trying to do everything we can to make this successful for you. We're proud of you. I wish you nothing but the best. I am thinking about you all the time. I wish I could get on a plane and be there with you personally, but the pandemic won't quite allow that yet. Maybe hopefully at the end of this year or the beginning of next year, I can come out and see you again, because I must tell you, it was beautiful out there and I love being out there. So good luck, hang in there. The world is watching and we're there for you. Take care.
Hello.
Well,
My name is Paul Davis,
Oh,
and I'm vice.
here we go. There's more of this, more baby boomer nonsense with your technology. But again, Chelsea and I are sharing the duties here, and so this is so think about this, right? You know, here we are trying to conduct this and interview and do all these things, right? And it's taking two of us to do kind of a sort of a reasonably successful job, right? And remember what have Chelsea and I and the rest of the faculty have been doing the last year because of the pandemic. We've been trying to do this balancing act and teaching all by ourselves, trying to run Zoom classes where we're angling dozens of students at one time. So it's just, and I have to absolutely agree. What are we doing? What we're fighting for here is we're fighting for the ability to serve our students properly. This is one of the things. Kelsey, anything you wanted to add?
Mark, I think you hit the nail on the head. I second that. We're doing the best that we can. I'm in some ways grateful that we had this experience to have to teach online, because that's the only way that I've learned all this technology, to be able to pull off this Facebook live stream, which all of the people that are friends on my Facebook page know that I tested out last night for the first time, because I'd never done Facebook Live. So I think Mark, you're doing a fantastic job running the show, hosting and managing these videos. I'm really impressed. I think, we have one more video from AAUP kind of admins, and then I think we've got my favorite video.
One last special surprise video,
right?
For you all.
It's my favorite one. But I'm hoping that we can maybe check in with CJ on the Klamath Falls campus once more too before we go.
Okay.
So
okay, so he's not here now.
He's not here right now. So I think maybe we could go to the video that we were planning on, and then we can chat. You and I can chat about that last video and maybe slide CJ in before or after.
Okay, that sounds great. Whenever he checks in. So
great.
So here we have a message from Irene Monet, who is the president of of AAUP.
Hello to my faculty colleagues at the Oregon Institute of Technology and OT-AAUP. I'm Irene Mulvey, President of the American Association of University Professors, and I stand in solidarity with you. If it weren't for the pandemic, I would be there with you in person right now, and I would be proud to join you on the picket line. As it is, you should all know, and your administration should know, that National AAUP has been paying close attention and continues to pay very, very close attention to the situation at OT. We support you. We're publicizing your struggle to our tens of thousands of members, and we stand in solidarity with you today and for however long it takes for the faculty at OT to get the fair contract they deserve. Let's be clear. It was the administration's decision to declare impasse last March that brought us to these actions today. Last month, the administration took action that they knew would almost certainly force the faculty to go on strike at this critical time of the academic year. The administration refuses to acknowledge the faculty's value, and their actions make it very clear that they do not care about student success. Apparently, they don't think it matters who walks in to teach a class on any given day. We know it does. And although it's unfortunate that you've been driven to this last resort by the actions of your administration, it looks like this is the only way to demonstrate the value you bring to the institution. I am so grateful to your colleagues in the elected leadership and everyone working so hard on the bargaining team and to coordinate communications. I am grateful to everyone participating in the strike and to everyone in the campus and surrounding community supporting the strike. I know it's not what the faculty want to be doing. I know that all you want to do is to get back into the classroom with your students. I also know that the strike is necessary because at this point, it is the only way to maintain and preserve the integrity of your core academic mission for the long term. Equitable compensation, decent benefits you can depend on, and a reasonable and stable workload are essential in order to create and maintain a professional workforce. Our message to the administration is stop delaying. Stop filing frivolous ULPs. Recognize the incredible faculty you have and their devotion to the experiential educational experience OT is known for. Get back to the table and finalize a fair contract with our bargaining team now. In solidarity from National AAUP.
Well, I have to say, I couldn't have said that better myself. One of the things that struck me when I was listening was this notion of, what is the key part? What is the foundation of the university? And that is, it's the faculty. As a historian, I remember a statement that what is the ideal university? It's a log with students seated on one end and Thomas Jefferson seated on the other. And given Thomas Jefferson's reputation as a polymath, that's exactly it, right? He was somebody who was knowledgeable. And so that's what's the key to the university. I mean, there's all kinds of other folks, and I don't want to say that the university could function without them. And we have all kinds of support staff and people who are helping to run the university, and I value them enormously. But when at the end of the day, why do the students come here? They don't come because we have nice dorms. They don't come for the food service, especially not at Oregon Tech. They don't, they don't come for our senior administration. Right? And they're not going to be taking courses with President Dr. Naganathan. What are they going to be doing? They are going to be interacting with us as faculty. And so think that's what's so important here, is that the values that we're fighting for are fundamental to the success of this institution. I just really, I don't know, this has been frustrating. This has been a long, difficult effort. I've been involved with the faculty governance now for 25 years. I've been, was there at the founding of the union. I helped to organize it. And we had a great deal of optimism at the beginning of our union organizing effort, because there was a long history, decades of interaction between faculty and the senior administration in setting policy. And who wrote many of those policies? It was the faculty and the senior administration working together to produce a structure for our university that worked for both sides. That's what's been lacking the last few years, is that shared governance to our senior administration means that they're going to share with us how we should be governed. I said that before, but it bears repeating. And it's this frustration that we have, this difficulty with a senior administration that wants to simply dictate what is going to happen without any input from the faculty. That is not a university. That is not the kind of academic environment that leads to quality education for our students. I think our senior administration thinks that they know everything. They know a lot of things, but we're all stronger together. If you think about what you can accomplish by yourself as opposed to what you can accomplish when you're on a team, very clear that teamwork and being together is vital. So I see that we're checking in again with our Klamath Falls contingent. I see, there we are. CJ, welcome back.
Thank you.
Looking as stylish as ever. And so how are things going on the picket line?
They're awesome. We have even more students showing up with us. They are here. They're sign wielding, cheering. We have even more faculty showing up. Everybody's here. We've got all kinds of community members. We've got burritos.
Wow.
Yeah. People are getting.
Now you're making me hungry now. That's
Well, I wish you were here, because I would give you a burrito. I would give you 5 burritos, Mark.
Oh, well, thank you so much. So I'm just curious, have any of the members of our bargaining team been there yet? They were up all night until they were bargaining from 9 a.m. yesterday to 6
I would
a.m.
not expect them.
Well, that just shows their enthusiasm. I was on a call with them this morning, and what did they say? They said, we've been bargaining all night, but what do we want to do? We're gonna take a nap, and then we're gonna go down and we're gonna be on the picket line. So it just shows you just how committed everyone is. You don't organize a strike like this. You don't do the things that we've done without everybody working together. And so that this is, I think, one of the things our president said was, this was all the work of just a few malcontents. And I see more than a few folks out there, right? This is, this reflects broadly what our faculty feel needs to be done.
Yeah, let's just say there are a lot of people who are not content. And yeah, there have been a lot of really phenomenal groups working on this. So the executive committee has been fantastic. The bargaining team, they really were up all night. I checked in with them this morning, and I'm shocked. They're at their standing desks dancing around to try and stay awake as they waited for the rejection of our offer this morning. So it was really hard. I think everybody was simultaneously ready to go and really, really, really hoping that we could secure the contract and avoid being out of the classroom. The students here are so motivated to have us join them in the classroom. They want us. They don't want the adjunct option that's being held here, and it's really just not. It's just not an appropriate thing
So
to
do you
offer
think,
them.
so CJ, do you think the reason they don't want those adjuncts is because they know they haven't been vetted, they don't have the experience and knowledge that our faculty brings to the table?
That is a lot of it. They're talking to us about the relationships that they have with us. They're talking to us about the experience that we bring, the ways we connect them to that experience, the ways that we demonstrate and give them the ability to do what we're talking about. They don't just learn about it. We don't just talk to them about it. We all do it, and we do it together. And we bring them up to a level that sends them out into the world with a lot of fantastic skills and gives them a huge leg up.
And what I can say, from, teaching in one of the general education disciplines, that what's clear to me is that, our faculty in our major programs, they don't just teach technical skills, but they model professional behavior. And the reason our students succeed is because they have role models in our faculty that show them what is the best way to succeed in the world. And that's what's special about our faculty.
I couldn't agree more.
So any
more,
any new signs?
Any new signs? Let's see. There have been some new ones. I'm gonna make sure I don't get hit by a car. What do you say? What the fulcrum, OIT admin? Oh.
Oh.
19 all day.
Yeah. Oh.
We got. I think we've got the whole dental hygiene program out here.
Oh yeah. So
this wouldn't be a school without faculty, students supporting faculty. Thanks, y'all.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, this just as they would say, I'm getting verklempt. This is this is just so this is just so emotional. And so I don't know, I'm so pleased.
Yes, it's really heartening to be here with the support. And I hope everybody sees it. I hope it means lasting change for Oregon Tech.
Absolutely. And I just want to thank you, and please convey our thanks to everyone there. This is just fantastic. And it just shows, that this is an effort that is absolutely vital and that people believe in it.
You bet. I'm going to take you around to some more folks. Say hi to the digital picket, everybody.
All right, look at all those. Woo-hoo.
All right, you guys need anything else?
No, I think that is exactly the kind of boost of enthusiasm that we need. It's also making me a little, nostalgic being here on the East Coast, and seeing that very familiar sign that I, see almost every day coming to campus. And it's, I wish, it's one of those signs you wish you'd see, when you're on your way to spend your time with the students. That's, it shouldn't be there when you're, when we're not able to be in the classroom. It's enormously frustrating.
That's right. Very hard to break the routines that we build.
Well, thanks, CJ. Again, convey our thanks to everyone, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Thanks, Mark. Take care, everybody.
Bye. All right, Chelsea. So
what a great check-in.
It's see, that's why do we love our students so much? It's because we have those kind of relationships with them. Like, if we were just, up there babbling on and not not doing something valuable for the students? Would they show up? Would they bring burritos? I mean,
And creative signs.
I know. They're actually, no, this is just, yeah, I am so pleased with all of this.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Signs that bring science and political commentary. That was fantastic. Well, I have a couple of really amazing comments from the Facebook Live. Can I just share a few?
Sure.
Perfect. Great. London says, London's commented a few times. London's a 2019 grad of the civil engineering program. London says, I came for the small class sizes, hands-on learning, and the connections the university has with leading corporations. My expectations were not only met, but exceeded, which is just great to hear. That's a comment that I hear often from alumni. Bridget says, I support the faculty as an OIT at OIT as a spouse of a faculty member. This just completely amazes me that the administration is forgetting that OIT is made by the faculty, not the administration.
Yeah, nobody comes here to listen to one of our vice presidents drone on about budgets, right? They're here for us.
No, yeah, absolutely. Let's see, just a few more. Gretchen McNamara says, having been on strike with AAUP Wright State University in January of 2019, I know what you are going through. Solidarity. VP Paul Davis is right. You have a national backing, and we couldn't feel that more. This is amazing. This digital picket. This is the first time I have heard of a digital picket line. We're kind of doing our own thing here, figuring it out as we go, and one of the most amazing things about it is to see that we have national and in many cases worldwide backing. People from the UK, people from that are in Kuwait right now. This is just phenomenal to just see all of the support that we have.
So we should be clear. We didn't invent this idea of digital picketing. It's really a product of COVID. Other organizations have done this before, but as far as we know, this is the first time it's been done by a higher educational institution here in the U.S. So we're making history. This is, and I just want to thank all of you who are here and talking to us and supporting us. This is the kind of thing that we need in order to build our morale. And so feel free to share the stream, share this, and the only way this is going to be resolved is if our senior administration understands that people support us and not them.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Thank you for the clarification. I have one last comment that I thought was really well put. Lynn Wilson said, shared governance is essential to creating an optimal educational environment. Administration, professors, teachers, students, support staff, and all involved parties need to work together to have their voices respected.
Absolutely. And it's that shared responsibility, right? It's, if what, according to psychologists, what are the most frustrating and stressful jobs? It's the ones where you don't have control, where you don't have a voice in what happens. So I think this really reflects the frustrations of faculty that for decades had a strong voice in how our institution was managed and its goals and objectives. And I think that's the enormous frustration we feel now, is that we have a senior administration that is not respectful of that faculty voice and wants to take this occasion to radically roll back that ability of the faculty to have a voice in this. So I'm just so happy to see all of those folks out there, the support, the solidarity, not just of our union members, our bargaining unit, but also of the other folks who are supporting us. It's truly wonderful to see. So Chelsea, I understand that we're leading towards the end of this, and you have a final video that you want me to play.
Absolutely, I do. I have one.
And this is a mystery. This is a mystery guest, a mystery.
Yeah, mystery guest. I believe that everyone will figure out pretty quickly who this mystery guest is once the video starts. I spent most of my weekend editing videos, learning how to edit videos. And so this one was my favorite one to edit. And I'm really excited to share. This is a alum from Oregon Tech, class of 1987. And I will go ahead and let Craig take it from here.
Yeah, so I mean, this is an alumni from a long time ago. That's so long ago, I wasn't even here.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you know that's ancient. So,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah, alum from a long time ago. And I might say part of why I like this is it's actually a little bit personally embarrassing, this video. And I'd like to say I was here. I was at Oregon Tech at that time. Okay, thanks, Mark.
It's been a great ride, and I applaud OIT, in particular instructors, which of course make it all happen. And I'm really glad I went. Really glad I went to OIT. Hi everyone, Craig here, Craig Gustafson, also known as Gramps to my fellow alumni, or better yet, Chelsea's dad, because I would sometimes bring my young toddler into OIT classes with me. I went to school in Klamath Falls, first year the photonics, laser electro-optics program. Anyway, first year photonics, we must have had 128 people signed up for that very first photonics class. That the buzz it created, the people that came. Anyway, photonics, lasers, optics, and of course, heavy in physics. It was all physics-based because at that time, the only people who were teaching photonics were physicists. Anyway, so those were the good old days. School, very successful career. Came out, went straight into R&D, became a research associate at a scientific instrumentation firm where we were designing instrumentation to count particulates, particle matter, and clean environments, clean fluids. We're talking clean rooms, clean process fluids, parts washing, semiconductor chips, disk drive manufacturers, hydraulic fluids, all numerous applications. Very, very small company, very, very small cash flow. But us engineers, we did our job so well. The company took off, made a lot of money, and actually it ended up getting bought out over and over and over again. And it's now part of a huge conglomerate called Danaher. Anyway, so I ended up traveling, and I moved out of R&D and into marketing, where I became an applications engineer, learning how people apply their products, doing best practices across the board for many different customers. Great stuff. Anyway, what made this all possible was education that I got at OIT, the wonderful teachers, instructors I had, including one of them who is now known as Professor Chelsea Gustafson, my daughter, who was the youngest student ever to attend OIT because she came into my classes as a young toddler, and now she's a professor out of your Portland branch. Isn't that fun? Full circle. But and hi to everybody. Bye to everybody as a fellow alumni in the photonics and electronics program. And physics too. You were in there.
Well, Chelsea, I like the way you snuck that one in there. And so, and one of the things that I have to say is I have an enormous amount of admiration for your father. It's since been canceled, but when I first came to Oregon Tech, the laser optical engineering technology program was still active at that time. And it had the reputation for being the toughest program on campus. It was by far, had a huge weed out rate, but also had by far the highest salaries of any of our graduates. And so it was, and those were the students that I loved having in my classes because they were enormously motivated, sharp as a tack. And so I can understand why you're, so the fact that your father was so successful at that speaks volumes about him. Clearly, the reason you're successful is because one, that you inherited that intelligence, and two, that you got an OIT education as early as possible, right? That's the
Exactly. Well, I'll pass that message on to him. He's the reason he had to video that and not come on live is that he's in his RV out in the middle of nowhere right now at some hot springs. He was going to be on a little mini vacation. And I've thought a lot recently about that full circle that he mentioned in the video. And it's interesting. I wrote in my tenure portfolio this year that starting to work at Oregon Tech 5 years ago didn't feel like a job. It felt like coming home. Because I started at Oregon Tech. I remember I have little flashbacks of memory to my dad's classes. And apparently I was always very concerned that classes ended without a song, because at preschool, that's what we did. We ended classes with a song. And I actually came back to Oregon Tech when I was in high school, and I did the Teen Women in Science Engineering program. And so it feels really good to be faculty at Oregon Tech now. It really does feel like home. And like Leif was talking about earlier, we feel like a family. And it's not just a job. It's, yeah.
That's true. It's a vocation. It's a calling, and I think that's what all of us here at Oregon Tech really believe, is that if we're going to do what's right by our students, to give them the kinds of opportunities that your father had and that the other students here talked about, to be able to take folks who don't have that confidence, who don't have the skills, who don't have the knowledge, and not just train them, but inspire them, give them what they need in order to be successful. That's what gets, as I said before, that's what gets me up in the morning. That's why I am proud to be a faculty member at Oregon Tech, is because we make such an enormous difference in our students' lives. And I just hope our senior administration will come to see that, and that they will give us the tools that we need to recruit and retain those kind of faculty now and in the future. So Chelsea, anything else that you wanted to finish off this with? Should we end it with a song?
Oh gosh, I'm a chemistry professor, not a singer.
Well, unfortunately, that's too bad. We don't have CJ, because CJ is great, because CJ, not only does he play the guitar, he plays the ukulele, and so
that's amazing.
So he actually, he was actually entertaining us this morning. I wish I had recorded. He was actually entertaining us this morning. He had learned a couple of traditional Union songs. So
that's fantastic.
So when it's 5 in the morning and you've got an exhausted audience, there's nothing that lifts your spirits like that. So
absolutely. And CJ Riley is the person to do that. I took his I took the CCT Excellence in Teaching workshop in 2019, and CJ, when he got up there and did his teaching demo, I wanted to learn more about trusses and bridges. I was so inspired about trusses and bridges, and inspired to become a better professor. So it's amazing the amount of creativity and knowledge we have in our faculty here at Oregon Tech.
Yeah, and we don't just work by ourselves, we work together. I've also, CJ and I co-taught a course on bridges in Oregon, and we actually took our students out for a 10-day journey, and we traveled along the Oregon coast up to the Portland area, and it was, for the students, it was really a life-changing experience. 2 of the students that were on that decided to go into careers that were related to bridge building and inspection as a result of that. So that's the kind of thing that we can offer. So, and we don't always have to start quite as young as with you, Chelsea, but
yeah.
So I guess we can just finish up. I want to thank everyone. So Chelsea, if you wouldn't, so I guess we can end the Facebook live stream.
Yeah, we can. I was going to suggest that, as you do kind of the sign off, maybe before we end the Facebook live stream, we can end with one of those videos that we made that has the quotes from
Oh, yes.
faculty and some music, and that could be a good send off.
Yeah, let's have that as our send off, and
Okay.
then and if you would hang around on Zoom afterwards, I had a few things I wanted to talk to you about. So-
Sounds great. I'm going to mute and turn my camera off, and we'll let that play once you say bye to everyone, and then I'll end
I
the
think I
Facebook
will-
live after
and I
that.
think I will turn my video off too, so everybody can just concentrate on this. So let me just. What?
Hi everyone,